Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Ironsword, Wizards and Warriors 2. We are currently on stage 2, and the important thing is that from stage 1 we took over a lot of money, a helmet, with which Kuros doesn't look like an idiot anymore, and also the Book of Sindarin, and this mysterious item that we got for completing stage 1. So with that being said, let us explore a bit more here. There are some snakes in the trees shooting water balls at us or something, or maybe it's just spit, and it deals quite a lot of damage. We've lost a life there because we started out with really low life. There's a hole in this tree here which functions as a door. We've just gone inside. There's a huge diamond here. A huge diamond is worth 250 money. The small diamonds are worth 100 money. And there are chicken wings here, or pieces of turkey or whatever, which are food items which replenish health. But and there's also a key and an extra life here. But yeah, those turkeys, they replenish a very, very small amount of health only, and I think you need to eat multiple of them to even have your life bar fill up slightly. There's a speech bubble down there, and we can't go down there, and there's a golden insect in the speech bubble. Pretty much like the golden egg in the speech bubble in stage 1, which we had to give to an eagle so that he would let us pass. So perhaps we need to collect a golden item here again to get access down here. So let us keep that in mind and explore. There's another turkey here and another turkey here, and if we go here to the edge of the trees, then you slide down. They function like slopes, and as I've already said in part 1, the slopes are horrible. You cannot control your character at all anymore as when he is on a slope, and he has to slide down the entire slope. And now we've basically just fallen all the way down here because we fell down multiple slopes in a row. We couldn't do anything about that, and that's why we dropped all the way down here. Now let us explore the right side of this stage further. There was a turkey up there, and there are a lot of turkeys here to eat, or pork chops or whatever. There's also one here, and there's a secret room here, and we got shot immediately out of it. There's those little geysers basically, which if they touch you, they move you around. Basically, they seem to move you up and left. And there's a bunch of diamonds here and a key. Yeah, the diamonds are all the way on top of this room, and the key was on the way up. Yeah. Let me stand on that geyser. Currently doesn't go off. Wow, they seem to be random as hell on when they pop up and when not. And what I try to demonstrate is that I think the direction in which they shoot you is a little bit random. And you can semi-control in which direction they shoot you, and if you hold down the A button, then that also has an effect on where they shoot you. Yeah, did you see that? This one pushed me higher because I held down the A button a bit longer. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, but basically, if you're on the right side of the screen, and when you're climbing up this room, look, did you see that? You basically almost are guaranteed to enter this secret room, because there's a high chance that you will enter this room just by climbing up the room. Okay, I mean, you enter this room by climbing up this room here with the trees. Hope that wasn't confusing what I said there. But yeah, as you climb up the room with all the trees here, you're pretty much guaranteed to accidentally step into this room. Okay, sorry for explaining it so hard, but I always like to be detailed. We have 3 keys, might as well use one on this treasure chest. And you have found a shield. Again, we can assume that this is a protective item. Indeed, Kuros is now wielding a shield, as you can see. And perhaps if the enemies touch the shield, then he takes less damage. Or maybe he now takes less damage in general, no matter where an enemy hits him. Maybe that's also the case for the helmet. I really do not know. There's a door down here at the very bottom of this tree. There's a giant frog, and he apparently wants that golden insect. That's weird. Aren't they supposed to say something? I always had in mind that they say something like, "Bring me the golden item." Apparently that's just bad memory, because the eagle in stage 1 wouldn't talk before I had the golden egg either. But yes, remember this part before? We used to be up there, and then we saw the speech bubble. So it's this giant frog with a crown and with big lips and with big eyes, and he apparently wants that golden insect. There are a lot of pork chops here on the stage, or turkeys or whatever. Now notice something, there's a chest here. If we have, we look at the inventory, we still have the familiar spell here. It's that smiley icon. Now let's open up this chest. You have found the Waterspout Spell. And the treasure chest stays open. That's important. Oh, and now the Waterspout Spell is now here. When I made a test recording before this, where I tried to figure out where the secret rooms are, so that I wouldn't have to search for them forever here, and there it seemed that the Waterspout Spell wouldn't be collected, because I still had the familiar spell. Let me activate the familiar spell. Now there's little smiley faces coming, and flying around us. And let me demonstrate something, because that's also something that I realized while I prepared myself for this recording. Let us try and climb up this room. The familiar spell thingy is still following us. And do you see that as it destroys things, it turns them into coins that are worth 50 money. That is something that I didn't really realize in part 1, I think. But now the familiar spell disappeared. I don't know when the familiar spell disappears, because in my test recording before, the familiar spell held on for ages, for like over 1 minute, I think. And this time it went over fairly quickly. So I don't know what causes that. And do you see that? The chest here is still there, the one with the water spout. Let us quickly use the Waterspout spell. What does it do? Boom! It sends you upwards like this. And if you use it once, then it's gone. And this is why the chest is staying there, so that you can select, collect the Waterspout again, because you're going to need it. There's another door in this tree here, and it leads to a shop. And here you can buy keys, food, and a diamond sword. Now I'll be honest, the diamond sword is absolutely not worth it, and it's a huge waste of money. But we only have 1 extra life left, and after that it will be game over, because you indeed only do have 2 continues, and we've used up both continues in the last part. So I will just demonstrate collecting the diamond sword with the money that we collected from stage 1. Because remember, if you use the password, you start out with 0 money. With the money that we collected from stage 1, we will be able to get those 4,000. And buy that diamond sword, and I'll demonstrate this. So there's another secret room here. If you climb up the left side of this room here, there's more geysers here that would bounce you around all the place. We're at 3,928 money. That's almost the required 4,000. There's a lot of food items here in this secret room. The secret room has a weird brown colored background. I think I found this secret room for my first time ever in the test recording that I did prior to this one. And now we have the required 4,000 money. There are 4 diamonds in this room. Actually, there's 6, I think. But I think we went from 3,928 to 4,578. So it's 650 that we collected. Yeah, I think we collected a small coin in this room as well. I just entered that room by accident. If you enter a room by accident, you can't just immediately exit it. You have to search for the exit, which is down here. Okay, let me collect those food items. And now, let us try to enter the shop, which is here. And let's see that diamond sword, shall we? There we go. And indeed, there Kuros is with the diamond sword. It's a big as hell sword. It's certainly longer than the other sword that we had, and it's also pretty thick. And also look at that again. Isn't that pathetic? He doesn't even properly swing his sword. This is one of the worst attacks in video game history. And I've also found out in my test recording before of this, if you hold the up button and then press B, then look, then he like swings the sword upward. Which is a weird thing to say, because look at this. In his standard sword swing, it also kinda looks like he swings that sword upward instead of forward. Yeah, he swings it down a little bit and then up. And of course you can crawl and then just directly stab with that sword. Okay, so that's the diamond sword. We are now collecting the Waterspout spell again. You have to use that spell wisely. And what was I going to say? Wow, I don't remember what I was going to say. Ah yes, we have 500 money left though, so if we fuck up, we could still potentially buy another key. However, once you ran out of money on this stage and out of keys, and if you wasted the Waterspout spell, then you're stuck, I think. You will be unable to reach the golden item. So we can't reach the right side here because of the slope, which will always push us down, but do you see that? Now, the golden item is right up there. So to reach it, we are going here, and then we will use the Waterspout spell, except I don't have it. See, that's what I meant. Before this stage already we had that glitch where the Waterspout spell wouldn't be in the inventory anymore. That is weird. It seems like the Waterspout spell maybe disappears if you just open and close the inventory. Wow, so we're fucked anyway. We would have to rebuy the key. So what I was trying to say is, if you run out of money and of keys, then I think you're stuck in this stage. We've seen in stage 1, in part 1, that an enemy dropped a diamond once, but it was really, really rare, and it really only happened in that one part. So I guess you could try and keep killing enemies, and maybe try to make some money, and that would be your only hope, so that you could possibly buy a key again, in order to be able to open the treasure chest. So let's try this again. And okay, so there we got the Waterspout spell. Let us not open the inventory before we are at the correct place. We just died. We don't have any extra life left anymore. Let's see. Will we be able to use that Waterspout spell? Okay. So let us verify this again. Go up here, but because of the slopes it's impossible to get up here. Let's just go here. Do you see that we still don't have the Waterspout spell? There is some kind of glitches going on here. And I honestly don't know why that is. We do not have the Waterspout spell in our inventory. And once you use the familiar spell, you can't press select and bring up the menu anymore. And that's very weird. And now with the familiar spell being around, we can't even get killed because the familiar spell is killing the enemies and making them turn into coins. So now I can't even die. So wow, this really was worth mentioning. And another thing, the diamond sword. I think one more reason why it's so useless is that I believe that if you collect a treasure chest which has another sword, then it replaces your diamond sword. So yeah, it's absolutely useless. Wow, are those coins worth 100? Those coins from the familiar spell are worth 100 and not 50. And do you see it, that familiar spell just doesn't expire? It just keeps on going. Why does it just go on forever? Ah no, the coins are worth 100 points, but only 50 money. That makes sense. Yeah, look at this. The familiar spell is still going around. When will it ever expire? It's making it a lot more difficult for me to die. I would like to die on purpose now. We've earned 500 money again, so we could potentially get another key. Ah yeah, I forgot. I tested something in my test recording before. If you enter a room with the familiar spell being active, then the familiar spell also expires. Look, this is still following us. We totally earned 700 money so far with this familiar spell. I think now it expired. Okay, so let's buy another key. There we go. And let's go here. Get the Waterspout spell. Now we have it in the inventory. Okay. And if we enter the inventory again, then it's still there. Okay, that's very, very, very weird with the Waterspout spell. I don't know what causes it not to appear in the inventory. Let's try to see if this is the correct place to use it. And indeed, it is. You have found the golden fly. The golden insect was a golden fly. Now we can kill ourselves because we only have this final extra life left, which is not enough to clear the stage. And the cool thing is, If you use a password, then you will have the same amount of extra lives as you had when you had that password saved. But you will start with 2 continues again. That's a very nice mechanic. That's very, very important that we keep that in mind. So if you get the final game over, you know, when you don't have any continues left, you are able to register your initials if you got a high enough score. And now we're in the Hall of Fame. We're on place 1 with 107,000 points. And now we're back to the title screen. So let me enter the password that I got at the end of part 1 now. I've written it down. W K J and then R, and then let me look. J Z R Z J Z R Z and then R T W G R T W G. And indeed we are back in stage 2. We now have 0 points and 0 money and only 1 extra life, like we had when we started the stage and when we noted down the password, but we now have 2 continues again. We will go up here again and collect... we won't collect this money in this room yet, but we will... there are no keys in plain sight in this part of the stage, but we need a key to get the Waterspout Spell, so we need to find the secret again, which was very easy to find. It was right up here, which I mean here, and it contains 2 keys. There's also slopes to the right here, so be careful, and let's dodge the geysers and collect some diamonds. We got 2 keys, so we will be able to collect the shield again, and the Waterspout Spell. By the way, we lost the Book of Sindarin. We don't have the Book of Sindarin in our inventory anymore, but we do have the item that we got when we completed stage 1 in the very right side of the inventory screen. There's this face symbol on the lower right corner again, and it stands for the next elemental enemy in this stage again. This face looks slightly different than the wind elemental that we fought at the end of stage 1. So we have 2 keys. Let me actually use the familiar spell again. Let's quickly go through the door, then the familiar spell disappears. Now we can use it again. And now it's not in our inventory anymore. Remember, in stage 1 we used the familiar spell once, and now we used it twice, so I guess that the familiar spell can be used 3 times in total. There's the shield again. Again, let me stress that I don't know if the shield really has any use. We also have 500 money, so we could potentially buy another key right here, but I don't want to do that. Oh no, about the keys in plain sight, I'm stupid. There is a key in plain sight, that's the Waterspout Spell, and it is at the room where the frog with the crown is. Yeah, there's an extra life and a key there. That's in plain sight, I forgot that, I'm sorry about that. And speaking of frog with a crown, this is a frog king. Remember in the intro, which we've also seen in part 1, the intro screen has spoken of talk to the 4 animal kings and let them help you. So the eagle was apparently a king as well, and this frog definitely was a king, because he wore a crown. You don't have any spells. We lost the Waterspout Spell again. This is fucked up beyond belief. How do we keep losing the Waterspout Spell? Do you lose it if you enter a room by accident? Like a door? Let's buy the key, because we have no other choice. If we don't want to go all the way to the other room there again, which has the key. Wow, that sucks. That honestly sucks major donkey balls. That is a glitch. At least I think it's a glitch. That would be mean as hell if the developers programmed it like this on purpose. Okay, we didn't enter any room this time. Let's see. Yeah, this time we still have the Waterspout Spell. I think you lose it if you enter another room. You can really only... Maybe they don't want you to abuse the Waterspout Spell in another room. Although that wouldn't make sense because the Waterspout Spell isn't useful in any other room. So now we can eat the food items here. There's the door that we need to go in. Well, actually we don't need to go there yet, but that's... oh, fuck, this stupid slopes made us go all the way down here. I wanted to enter that other secret room, which is here somewhere. I think it's here, to the right. Oh fuck, and then the slopes again. Yeah, this is taking away quite a lot of our time. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, we will definitely not make this in 20 minutes. Okay, now we're on this room again, which features a hell of a lot of food items. We don't need this one. Those 3 here down the slopes are enough. And there's the random coin here. It's worth 50 money, and then there's the 6 diamonds in total that are worth 100. Okay, I just wanted to collect this stuff again. And now we will quickly go down and talk to the Frog King. Let's see if he has anything to say. I grant you passage to the lair of the water demon. In Kikoskia's Let's Play, he gave the frog a hilarious voice. And that's, yeah, that's really funny, but I don't want to just copy his voice, I just used my own voice. And we all automatically fell down here. That sucks. I wanted to actually explore the room up there again, because there was a key and an extra life. I didn't know that you would just instantly fall down here. I thought that we would have had to go to the other room, and then we would suddenly be able to fall down here. That kinda sucks. Okay, so that's something you can memorize. If you want the key and the extra life, you need to explore that room first. Because we cannot go back there ever again. We don't have any spells, the Waterspout Spell is gone, so we cannot go back, we are now down here. And indeed, it seemed like the Animal King wouldn't say something like, I want you to bring the golden fly to me. No, he only started talking when we already brought the golden fly to him. Okay, so let's go down here now. Oh, that's a random secret room here, that's nice. A large diamond and an extra life, that's really sweet. And we drop onto the little coin there. Yeah, this game is full of secret rooms. It can be annoying if you have to search for them, but it's also fun if you do find them, and very rewarding. Shit, and it would have been nice if we had the key here. Because then we could have opened this chest. You know what? Since we are so far ahead on time already, 22 minutes in, I will actually quit here and call this a video. And I will redo this part of the stage again at the next part, and I will collect the key so that we will be able to open this chest. Let me actually explore. Are there more chests in this room? There are not. And once you go down here, you fall down here, and then you cannot go up here anymore. So yes, I will do this properly in the next part. This part was a lot of exploration and seeing what we have to do, and also experiencing the Waterspout glitch. The Waterspout Spell glitch. So this was still a useful part. We learned a lot of things here. And in the next one, we will deal with this stage properly. Pause the game here, like this, and I'll call that a video, guys. See you in the next part.